Thanks for stopping by GF Explorers today.
I am so excited. We finally made our decision which fifth wheel we were going to buy to be our new home.
Woohoo, let's
Woohoo!
celebrate.
I'm ready.
We've opened some bubbles because this has been 2 months.
2 months of searching.
Of searching, researching, and touring rigs.
Which has been fun. I love touring
It's been
rigs.
really incredibly fun. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's delicious.
That is. I hope it was as fun for you as it was for us. You know, you were watching along. We were actually there, but it was just a wonderful thing to imagine. You know, living in each rig, trying to figure out which was going to work for us, and yeah, it was a tough decision. We should probably get into talking about how we made that.
So stick with us till the end because we are going to tell you which rig we are ordering in the next week or so. But one of the first things we wanted to do was really have a recap of what we toured, what we liked about them, what we didn't like about them, kind of our process for making this selection, because it is a very personal process. And we're hoping that our journey can help you in your journey to select the right rig for you. One of the first things we looked at was the Momentum Toyhauler by Grand Design. And one of the first reasons we wanted to look at that was because there's so many of the YouTubers out there that we watch and have been getting inspiration from are in the Momentum Toyhauler. Chad and Tara from Changing Lane.
Tom and Cherie from EnjoyTheJourney.life.
And so many more. They just seem like great rigs for full-timers. So Victoria, what was your impression of the Toyhauler that we looked at?
Well, I think when I first saw the garage in person, I was like, oh my God, this would be such an amazing office and I'd have all this room and blah, 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 blah. And then I was a little disappointed with the kitchen because, obviously you have to have room somewhere for, take it from somewhere for the garage. It wasn't bad. And then I think the living room was a little small too. But, that was all still doable. But I think when we really sat down and thought about what place we want our work, the thing we do all day, every day to be in our lives, we didn't want it to be a huge part of our rig because, going on the road is not about just working from the road. It's like we're changing our life, we're exploring. We don't want the main focus of our life to be work. And so I think that was what made us really rethink that.
And then I think the key for me on the Toyhauler was really the lack of outdoor space. I mean, as you said, the smaller kitchen, the office space has to come from somewhere. There was also a lack of outdoor space to make up for the office or the garage. In this case, we would have made it an office. And so, I think we came to the conclusion that the Toyhauler really just wasn't going to work for our lifestyle and really how we were going to live our lives. But we totally see where it could work in the right circumstances. Next, we took a look at the
bunkhouse.
Yes, the Grand Design bunkhouse model. And what were your impressions of that one?
Well, I never thought I would even consider a bunkhouse because I thought, bunkhouses are for people with kids, and we don't have. We have, but we have an adult child, and I'm not gonna lie, that bunkhouse was so alluring. I stood there and thought, okay, if we completely reno this space, it could be an office, it could be an art studio, it could be storage. There's just so many things it could be, and I got really excited about that. But then we thought about it, and it's like, well, we haven't even lived on the road. We're not sure what our experience is going to be, what we need, what we don't need. It didn't seem to make sense to do a reno before we even got out on the road.
Right out of the gate. I think we didn't want to do a reno right out of the gate. But that rig definitely had the space we needed to turn it into whatever you wanted to turn it into, which was fantastic.
Which is cool. You never know, down the road we might decide that is something we want, that we get a rig that we want to reno because we know exactly what we want to, in our rig to fit our lifestyle. But it didn't feel right to do that before we went out on the road. And then there's the DRV, which we did not go out seeking that rig. It was just there.
Yeah, that one found us.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, we're going to check this one out. And it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And I really loved the layout. The high-end fixtures were nice. They weren't something we needed in a rig, but it was nice. And the kitchen, with the rear kitchen, was big. It didn't have an island, but it was good. But I think overall with that rig, it was the storage, or lack thereof.
Lack of storage.
I mean, there were cabinets everywhere throughout the inside of the rig, but outdoor storage, nothing.
And
No.
I think where that outdoor storage went on that rig was in the tall ceilings. That thing had the tallest ceilings in any RV we had ever been in. There was like 9-10 foot tall
I
ceilings.
know, it was crazy.
And that was at the expense of outdoor storage.
Yeah.
And that rig had an MSRP of well over, I think, $225,000, which was way out of our league. But it was totally fun to look at that and kind of see the upper end of the fifth wheel line.
Yeah.
Well, then you know what was next.
Oh yeah.
The one
$390
that
RK.
was at the top of the list, the Grand Design Solitude 390 RK, the rear kitchen.
Oh, the rear kitchen. Oh, I loved so much about that rig. I loved the kitchen. I loved the living room. Knowing that one of the slides could become my office, that was very exciting. The fireplace, everything about that rig, I really, really liked. The double sinks in the bathroom, the washer and dryer in the bedroom with a king bed, and then the storage. I mean, you could have a guest come over and they literally, not you do that to a guest, but they literally could sleep.
Well, it is heated down there.
Yeah,
so.
but maybe you have a fight. Hey, if anything ever happens, one
You
of
could
us
stay
could
down
sleep.
there.
I doubt that would happen, but you never know. Or if your mother-in-law comes, no, just kidding. No, I like your mom a lot.
Yeah.
So I would never do that to her. What did you think of it?
Well, there were two downsides to that rig. As great as, it checked every box that we had, but there were two major downsides. One was, I call it the Model T aspect. You can have any color you want as long as it's brown. So the interior was brown. There were no interior options. And I think we had gotten spoiled looking at the DRV with that white interior. And we really kind of fell in love with that.
Yeah.
And then the other aspect of it was we'd have to build the office. So once again, we wouldn't be doing a full reno, but we would be going on the road having to build your office. And we need to hit the road with both of us having the ability to work immediately the day we head out of Denver. We have to be working and up and live. So that was kind of the only downfall, was really by our own doing, was that we have to put an office into that right away.
The 390 RK was at the top of our list, and then we went to see the Van Lee Beacon rear living room. Yeah, we went to go see the Van Lee Beacon rear living room, and oh my God, we fell in love with Van Lee. Oh, yeah. The attention, the detail, the workmanship, the thoughtfulness that's put into the thoughtfulness that's put into the design is just fabulous. And it had the same storage as the 390 RK. It had the slide out in the back because it had the raised rear living room.
Right.
I really liked that rig, and I liked the kitchen. I liked it all. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was really wonderful. That was really our first experience seeing a Van Lee product live and in person. And if you don't know, Van Lee is a division of Tiffin Motorhomes, primarily a Class A motorhome manufacturer, but they have this fifth wheel division that they've been doing for, I believe, 5 or 6 years now. And I would put Van Lee kind of in between Grand Design and that DRV that was way out of the budget. So as I was poking around on the Van Lee website, learning more about the company, about their products and their floor plan, what did I find but a floor plan almost identical to Solitude's 390 RK, a rear kitchen model. Van Lee has two different lines of fifth wheel that they produce. They produce a Volano and they produce a Beacon. Here in Denver, we had the opportunity to see the Beacon rear kitchen, which is kind of the higher end unit, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that means. But the glaring difference, what was the glaring difference?
It had a desk and an office in the slide already, and we didn't have to do it, and it was wonderful. And the other hugely glaring difference between the Solitude and the Beacon
was the sink in the island.
Yes, that was a tough one to overcome, to think about. I don't know, I still don't like the idea of a sink in the island. I really prefer the sink not being in the island, but there was another glaring difference.
Oh, what was that?
Color. Choices. Choices.
It had the white interior cabinets.
Yeah, I think with the Beacon you have like two or three choices.
Yeah, three choices. In cabinets.
And it's not brown or more brown. So yeah, there was some of those things are very important to us, and so we were very, very excited to go toward the Beacon 42 RKB, which is basically the same floor plan as the Grand Design Solitude 390 RK. Boy, all these numbers are
spinning in your head.
Yeah, and I just fell in love.
It was really great. So as we got closer to narrowing down our choices, I must admit I started to freak out just a little bit about the thought of having as my daily driver a big F350 dually pickup. So what did we go do?
We went and toured a Class A.
So we had to go look at a Class A. If you watch that video, and we'll put the links to all of these videos down in the description below. But if you went and watched that video, I talked about my full-timing adventure that I had in a previous life. And I had done that in a 40-foot Class A, so I was comfortable with them. I knew how they worked. So we went and had a look, sat around in the Class A's, really thought about our lives and how we would function in them. And what did we determine?
No. Not going to work. Not for us. For somebody, it'd be great, but not for us, not for our lifestyle. We need more space. We need more dedicated space. Like, this is the kitchen and this is the living room and here's your office. It was just too all one-y. I did like the idea of not having the big dually pickup truck, but no, it wasn't enough to make me not want that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think ultimately, as we thought about it, I sat down and went, okay, the trade-off's not worth having that as or not having that as a daily driver. So an F350,
you came around.
An F350 dually for a daily driver it is, which we have that video also about choosing our truck, and the truck is on order.
So we've toured 7 rigs, and I've got to tell you that we didn't choose any one of those 7. We chose something different. But you could say we kind of chose one of those 7 because the one that we did choose...
Ready? The Van Lee Volano 394 RK.
So it's the same thing as the Beacon that we toured that we fell in love with the desk and a slide and the kitchen and the rear kitchen, except it doesn't have the full body paint. It doesn't have some of the extra features that the Beacon does, a little bit higher end. And we were totally fine with not having any of those things. And it was also reflected in the price, which was good too. But we definitely fell in love with the Beacon, or the floor plan and everything in the Beacon when we viewed it. And we couldn't find anything else that we felt fit our lifestyle better.
The base MSRP between the Volano and the Beacon is almost $27,000. And for us, with the differences being, 1, the full body paint, 2, the wiring structure that comes in the rig, which means you can control it from your app, from an app on your phone, things like that, and some interior trim work, just weren't worth the trade-offs for that kind of money.
No, we could have a solar system for that kind of money.
Yeah, so the Volano it is.
The Volano it is, in brown. No, just kidding. We're getting the white linen.
Yeah, white linen with, I believe they call it dove gray trim and interior.
White, yeah,
exactly.
And we also have to make a lot of other decisions, like, are we going to go with the king bed or the queen bed? And so many decisions. And you're going to learn all about the decisions we've made in our next video when we talk about getting the pricing sheet and going through and going, do we need this? Do we want this? And that was a lot of discussion to figure out how to equip the rig in the way that we think that we're going to need. So that's going to be a fun video. That'll be next week.
Yeah, the option sheet's pretty big on the Volano. So,
yeah.
And you can send the price up there really, really quickly.
Oh, yeah. But we didn't do that.
No.
No. Just a little. Just a little. So how does it feel to know what we're getting?
Well, it feels, I think I said this when we ordered the truck, it feels real now.
It is real.
The truck's ordered, the rig's ordered within the next month here. So everything's falling into place. Well, there you have it. Van Lee Volano 394 RK is going to be our new home. Guys, thanks so much for watching. We really, really appreciate it. And we appreciate all the support you've given us throughout this couple months journey.
Yes, thank you so much. And please let us know in the comments below what you think about our choice. Only good things, of course, but we could handle a little bad, but please don't. And we'd love to know if you have a Volano 394 RK and how you like it. And I also want to say thank you so much for being on this journey with us. It's been really amazing. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We would love that. And we have a blog post associated with every one of our RV videos, so you can check those out at gfexplorers.com. And until next time, happy exploring.